she'd just say something that would make me so mad, and I'd be so defensive that I'd lash out, that I'd slap her, that I never hit her. I never closed my fist or anything.
Two high school sweethearts turned fiancés, Conor McBride and Anne Gromaire, have been dating for almost 3 years. They're both only 19 years old, and they start going through the completely normal argument stage. However, their relationship takes a dark and devastating turn when Conor shoots Anne in the head during an argument. In March 2010, Conor walked into the Tallahassee Police Department to turn himself in for the murder of Anne. 5 days after the shooting, on April 2nd, 2010, Anne passed away at Tallahassee Memorial Hospital. Before we see his interrogation, we must tell you the reason this case gained so much media attention. Well, Anne's parents engaged in restorative justice. It essentially involves bringing all the involved parties together to promote healing, accountability, and understanding. They followed the Catholic faith and learned to forgive Conor, and even fought for a lesser sentence. Keeping that in mind, let's look at what Conor has to say.
Hey, Conor.
Hey.
I'm Detective Dennis. How are you?
Yes, I'm sure. I'm okay.
Give me just a minute, okay? You don't happen to have the case number, do you, Ryan?
No, I can get it for you though.
Okay.
450. Let me get the case number for the 7-4 call. Copy, that's off Mill Branch, 67142. 67142.
Thank you. 16.2. Yeah, thank you. Alright, Conor, we need to talk. Alright? Oh, you want your cuffs back? Is that what you want? You do, don't you? Let him take those off of you.
You can have a seat in.
Okay. Let me get some so we can switch out. Alright?
I got you. You want to wait till you get those or?
That's fine. Are you gonna stick around? Yeah. Okay, you can just leave them off. Thank you, Ryan.
Yep.
Do you want to come in? It's my understanding, Conor, that you went to TPD.
Correct.
And told them that you had shot your girlfriend, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And then they talked to you a little bit, I guess, but then one of our guys in green showed up, remember Sergeant Pace?
Yeah.
Did he read you your Miranda rights?
Yes.
Okay, you understood him?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get you to sign here. I want you to read through this and make sure that you understand them, and then sign for me right there. Let's just start from the beginning, Conor, and tell me, I guess, how long y'all dated, or?
2 years, 2 months, and a day.
2 years, 2 months, and a day. How'd y'all meet?
School. We went to the same high school.
What high school did you go to?
Leon High School.
How old is she?
19.
She's 19?
Mm-hmm.
How old are you?
19 as well.
Okay. Y'all live together?
No.
No? Where does she live?
4487 Argyle Lane with her parents. Yeah.
Okay. But you live somewhere else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we get started, would you mind if I use the restroom? I know the whole no washing the hands thing.
Okay. Well, the deputy will have to go with you.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's fine.
Right. Ryan,
Ma'am.
can you take him to the restroom? No, he can't wash his hands, but he needs to use the restroom.
The one in the hallway over there.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
You there?
Yeah.
Alright. So she lives with her parents on Argyle, and you live.
In Villa del Lago, the apartment complex, 2700 West Pensacola Street.
Who do you live with?
Three other roommates who I don't really interact with. They're separate bedrooms.
Oh,
so.
okay, and share a common area.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know their names?
Scott and Monpierre. Dwight. I don't know his name. And then, I take it back, I only live with 3 people. I don't know if the new roommate, we're supposed to be getting a new roommate, but I don't know if he's moved in yet or not.
Okay. What apartment number is it?
1111A.
1111A.
And one of the officers whoever has my house key, has the keys to that apartment too.
Okay. Alright. So tell me about, it's Anne, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tell me about your relationship with Anne. What happened?
I guess the relationship, like when we were getting along, like when both of us were like even keel or both of us were happy, like things were really good.
Mm-hmm.
If one of us ever got upset, that's when things would go badly, I guess. A lot of, I don't know, she'd try to talk to me about like problems and I'd feel like she was attacking me. And so I'd get defensive and I'd get angry and I'd yell and that always upset her and I'd say horrible things, call her horrible names, and so that was always like a problem. So if things ever got, like if anything ever upset one or the other of us, normally it would escalate into a yelling match and stuff like that. So,
What kind of problems were you having?
really just me, like she felt that I didn't love her. She felt that I didn't put enough, that I didn't show her enough, that I wasn't like committed, not committed enough, that's the wrong term. I wasn't there enough, I didn't care enough. Which, I mean, to some degree, yeah, I'd lost that spark that we used to have, so.
That's typical. That happens.
And so we just, and like again, I was always self-conscious. I don't know, she always called me spineless, and to some degree I was. Because, I mean, I don't know, I didn't want to do anything without her approval. I didn't want anything to, I don't know, I didn't want her to be upset with me about anything, because I was always worried she'd leave me.
What happened today? Or I guess it started yesterday?
Yeah, we just, I don't know, I guess we had one of our sort of typical fights at first, and then it got worse and worse. And it got better for a little bit, and then just finally, we were both extremely upset and both not in our right minds, and I mean, did you get the report from the other officer? Did you?
I talked to him a little bit, but I need to hear it from you.
Okay. I lost it. I was angry and upset, and I shot her. Leading up to that, she kind of, I don't know if she was faking it or if she actually did. She implied that she cut the main artery in her leg because she wanted to die, because she didn't, if I wasn't going to be with her, then there was no point. I kept telling her I wanted to break up, but I don't want to see her dead. I don't want her to die. I don't want her to kill herself. And, so all that, the whole leg thing happened in the car. And the reason I didn't believe her is because my knife was there and it was out and it wasn't bloody at all.
Well, whose car was it? Yours or hers?
In her car. And she had gotten up to leave. And she'd gone out to her car. And she was sitting in it just sobbing. And
why was your knife in her car?
she took it.
Okay.
She took my knife. I carry my knife for work because I open a lot of boxes, open a lot of mail, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I had it in my pants the night before, and we slept together at my parents' house just to talk, and just because, we'd sort of come off of our angry, we hate each other, and we were just we missed each other, we loved each other, we didn't want to fight, so we just fell asleep together. And then this morning, we just, it just got out of control. And she kept being like, you never do anything, you don't say you love me. Not say you love me, you say you love me, but you don't show it. And you kiss me, but it's just like a peck. So I would try to kiss her deeply, and she was just like, no, it's gone. And eventually, we just started arguing again, and then that's when she left, because we were downstairs at that point. Because there's a bedroom downstairs at the house, and I'm sorry, this is really, jumbled up. I probably told the other officer something much more concise, but so she left. She left the bedroom, went upstairs, and went out the door to her car. And I followed her with a water bottle. It's her water bottle. She, to give it back to her, I gave it back to her, and that's when she was sobbing, and then I was just, like I said, I was just like, oh, we're not gonna work, and she was just like, then I'm gonna die. I'm gonna kill myself. And I was like, no, please don't. And she was like, fine, I'm not gonna kill myself. And I was like, okay, then I'm gonna go. So I walked to my car and got in my car and started backing up, and she took her car and hit in the back of my car. You can see where it's dented in. Not hit, really forceful. Just pushed her car in the way so I couldn't back out. And I got out and I yelled at her. I was like, what are you doing? Just let me leave. And she was like, no, I'm gonna die. I don't want to deal with this. I just want to die. And then I was like, I don't know why. I was just like, what do you want from me? What do you want me to do? I love you. I want to be with you. And she's like, no, that's a lie. And I'm like, fine. What do you want me to do? And she's like, I want you to die. I want you to just die. So I went back in the house and locked the door, and went back and got my father's shotgun and loaded it with one shot, because I was just gonna take my life for her. I just, if she didn't want me around, I didn't want to live. And so, she started banging on the door, and I put the gun down, and she had a blanket wrapped around her leg, and she was limping, and so I don't know, the whole killing myself thought went out of my head. And I was like, here, come in, I'll take care of you. And I put her back in this, it's a back room, it just has a couch. And I was like, let me help you, let me look at your leg. She was like, no, just go get me an ace bandage and some gauze. And I was like, I don't have any of, well, I looked through the house and I didn't find any of that, so I was just like, here's some toilet paper and some adhesive medical tape.
Was she bleeding?
I don't know. I don't know. She was just like, get out. And so I don't know. I got angry because I was like, I don't know if she was faking or if like she really did cut herself. Like I didn't see any blood, I didn't see any kind of cuts or anything, and so I don't know. So I was like really upset and yelling at her. I was like, "You should let me see, let me look at it, let me take care of you." And she's just like, "No, no." So I went and I got her a Powerade and put a straw in it. And by the time I came back, she was like on the couch, and I'm not sure. She seemed she was breathing heavily. I don't know if it was like she had a cut and she was losing blood, or if it was like she was just really upset and like, after a while just. And so I gave her the Gatorade and or sorry, the Powerade, and she drank it, but I don't. I'm sorry, I don't remember what she said, but I just remember it made me really angry. I think she was like, why do you care? Why are you doing this? You're just gonna leave me. And then she was like, I just want to die. I just want to die. And I went out and I got the gun and I like brought it back and I was like, is this what you want? Is this like really like you want to end your life? You don't ever want to see anyone again? And and she was like, no, I don't, please. And I like pointed the gun at her to like emphasize it, and then I pulled the trigger, and I didn't mean to. I didn't want to kill her. Just,
Why did you pull the trigger?
I don't even know. I don't, like, it really just happened. Like, it was just, like, she was just like, no, please don't. And I was like, no, like, okay, good, she gets it. She doesn't want to die. And then the next thing you know, it's like, she was falling backwards with a hole in the side of her head. And I don't know, it was, I don't know, I couldn't stop shaking, I couldn't, so I just, I went, I put the gun on my parents' bed, and then I just sort of like, walked around the house. I didn't know what to do, I was sort of in a daze, and then I thought I'd kill myself, and I got her phone, and I texted out a text to her father that's like, help, I'm at Conor's parents' house, he has a gun. At least that way, like, because my parents are out of town, so they wouldn't come back a week later and find me. So I was gonna tell her dad, and then I didn't, I couldn't send it, I didn't want to kill myself. Although, like, now I do. And then I drove around for like 30 minutes.
Where did you go when you drove around, Conor?
From my house, I went down Meridian, all the way down to I think it's 7th, and I turned. And I was gonna go to the police station, but I turned down. I'm sorry. The first time I went out and I went to Thomasville, and I took Thomasville down to 7th, and then turned and went back down Meridian, and then I drove out to Ox Bottom, and then drove down Ox Bottom and drove back Meridian until I went to the Tallahassee Police Department.
Did she stop anywhere?
No.
She talked to anybody?
No.
How long do you think it was after Anne was shot before you left the house?
Maybe, I don't don't know. I mean, I feel like I drove around for 30 minutes. I'd say probably I was there 15 minutes.
Before you left the house?
Yeah.
What'd you do when you were at the house for that 15 minutes?
I was just walking around, just like trying to figure out what to do. Oh, I told you I wrote the text, and I went outside and I moved her car from where it had hit me. I backed it up into the visitors parking spot so I could leave. I didn't know what else to do, and then I like walked back inside, and I just sort of like walked around my kitchen and just walked back out to the car and sat there for maybe a couple minutes, and then I left.
Did you touch Anne?
No.
Yeah.
As soon as I pulled that trigger, I was out of the room. Well, not like exactly like that, but you know. As soon as I realized what happened, I just got out of the room and I didn't go back.
So she was on the couch in the...
No, she was on the floor. Or, well, when I brought the gun back, it was like, is this what you want? She like rolled off the couch and was like on her knees.
What room was that in?
The back, I guess if you're going into my house, you go in, you take the hallway on the right, and then it's the only bedroom on the left. Although it's not technically a bedroom anymore. It used to be my bedroom, but it's not anymore.
And you got the shotgun from your parents' room?
My dad's closet, yeah.
Where'd you get the ammunition from?
His lower drawer. He keeps his gun on the top shelf of his closet, and then he has a lock on it, and the keys for the lock were in a separate drawer in the bedroom, in a little like night. It's like a bedside bureau with a bunch of drawers, and the bottom drawer has a bunch of keys in it. And then the ammunition is in this little white chest of drawers that's in his closet.
So you never went to your apartment after this?
No, man.
Tell me this. So, I think I'm missing some parts, so I'm going to try to figure it out.
Yeah.
What was it y'all were fighting about yesterday? Had y'all broken up, or?
The fight started yesterday with miscommunication, and she'd done, excuse me for a second. She'd gotten a really good grade, and she wanted to go out and celebrate it, and it was like a week and a half ago, I think. And she'd mentioned it. I'd stopped by her work that day, and she'd mentioned that she wanted to go out and celebrate it. And so she was upset that I was making plans. I was like, let's go like walk around Lake Ella, and we'll go shopping for a week's worth of groceries, because we're trying to eat healthy. And so she was upset because I wasn't listening, and then, well, not that I didn't listen to her, but that she felt that I didn't care about her because I wasn't celebrating it, because like she felt like if I'd really cared, like the night she'd mentioned it, I would have been like, hey, let's go out and do something. But like, so yeah, we didn't do any, like we didn't, so we just started fighting, and like all of our problems came up, like just a lot of like little things between us.
So That was yesterday. About what time of day was it?
5 o'clock.
Evening?
Yeah.
5 o'clock evening?
And then...
Is that when y'all got together, or had you been together all day?
No. She worked, and I brought her lunch, and like things were good. And then later, between like 4 and 5 is when we started fighting because of like a miscommunication over the phone. And then like she was just bored at work, and I had stuff to do, and I wasn't like being responsive, and so we just started like sort of picking at each other. And then
Over the phone?
texting via text, and then we started yelling. Or well, then we called each other and we were talking. And we started fighting, and then I guess it was about 5:30 yesterday. We went to New Leaf. Or she was like, "Fine, let's just meet at." I was like, "Please, let's go somewhere and just talk," because I hate talking to her over the phone. She doesn't like it either. I was like, let's go somewhere and talk. I just want to work things out with you. So she was like, meet me at New Leaf. Not New Leaf. Fresh Market. I'm sorry, Fresh Market. And I met her at Fresh Market, and she was like, if she got there before me, and she was like, if you want to find me, just look for the girl sobbing by herself. And I was like, oh God. And so I went in and I was like, what's wrong? Like, why? I mean, like, I know what's wrong. Obviously, we're fighting, but like we love each other. It'll be okay. And she was like, no, we're just not gonna work out. And I was like, please, come on, let's go somewhere else and talk and just work things out. And so she was like, fine, okay, I'll meet you at the Greenway, the Greenway out by the interstate.
So did y'all go to the Fresh Market together?
Yeah.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
And then you decided from there to go to the Greenway?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so yeah, from there, she was like, just go. She was like, just meet me at the Greenway. So I left her at Fresh Market, and I went to the Greenway, and she called me and was like, hey, I got to stop by my house first, but I still want to meet you at the Greenway. And it turned out she at Fresh Market, she'd bought lemonade. It's just like French lemonade, and it has, I guess we had it on one of our first dates, and it was really nice. And so she was just trying to make it special, trying to make things work, and like things were good for a while. And then we opened the lemonade and she bought little like champagne flutes, and we like poured them, and I took a sip of mine, and well, no, actually, I clinked them together first and took a sip, and she got upset, and I started yelling at her. I was like, what's wrong? Like, I thought, like, I was like, what's wrong? And she was like, nothing. I was like, what's wrong? Like, tell me. I know you're upset. What's wrong? Tell me. And she wouldn't tell me, and finally I got it out of her that she was upset because I wasn't like, congratulations on the good grade. Like, so she was really upset about that, and she was just like, yeah, we're not gonna work, like, you don't care about me, you obviously don't think things that are important to me are important. And so from there we just proceeded to fight until we were still at the Greenway, and she was like, well, since you're leaving me, I have no reason to live, I'm just gonna kill myself. And I was just like, no, you
Where
can't.
are you leaving her?
I mean, we were gonna break up. We were having problems. We were not communicating. The spark was gone. Like, the relationship it was like a friendship. It wasn't a relationship, and she wasn't getting the emotional support she wanted from me, and I couldn't give her that. So yeah, like I was trying to leave her, and at the same time I was still I still care about her. I still I don't want her to die. I didn't want her to kill herself. So after I begged her, she was like, I was like, please just stay with me. Don't kill yourself. It'll be okay. Everything work out, and she was like, it's dark and creepy here at the Greenway, and I was like, okay, let's go back to my parents' house and we'll just talk, and like that's what we did. Like, we went back and we talked, and like we went to sleep, and like things seemed okay. And then there's just this morning, all hell broke loose.
What was that all
Apparently she was upset that I'd fallen asleep on her.
Ah.
So she was already upset. And then I was stressed because I wanted Sunday, I needed to work on homework and stuff, and I really didn't want to have to deal with her all day and be with her and be like, okay, look, I just have to talk and go through the emotional, I guess, hurdles that a lot of times our fights bring on. And so I told her that, which really, really upset her. And
what time did y'all get up this morning?
11.
11?
Yeah.
And it just started from there?
Yeah.
So how long did y'all argue before she tried to leave?
Probably 2 hours.
And she was parked in front of you or behind you?
My driveway, or my parents' house's driveway, it's a circular driveway, and you park, the circle goes like this, and you park here. And I was parked here, and she had her car here, so I was trying to back out, and I could have gone like that. But I had to back out a lot more, and she just took her car and went like that.
Okay.
But before that morning, she was back there.
Okay.
And then I moved from where she'd hit me, I moved the car back and backed it into we have a extra parking spot.
Okay. So y'all argued and then she was gonna leave and then you got in your car and you were gonna leave too?
Yeah.
And that's when she ran into you?
Mm-hmm.
And then you went back in the house?
Yeah.
And she stayed outside?
Yeah. I locked her out.
Okay. And then you let her in at some point?
Correct. She was banging on the door, begging me to let her in and just talk to her.
Is that when she said she cut herself? Or?
No. She said she cut herself in the car. Or, well, she implied, because that came after she hit my car and I walked back. She seemed to imply that she'd cut herself, and my knife was there, and she was holding her leg, and I tried to look at her wrists, and her wrists were fine. And then she was kind of sitting in the car. I don't know how exactly she was sitting, but she was hiding this leg. So
Her right leg?
yeah.
So then you went back in the house and you locked her out and she beat on the door for a while, and then what made you let her back in?
I felt horrible. I felt horrible that she was upset that I was upsetting her. That she, I don't know, that she cared, that she, I wanted to make things work. I didn't, we used to have such a great relationship. And I hope that by letting her in, I could have made things better, you know?
A lot of emotions going on at the time, huh?
Yeah.
Tell me again when it was you went up. Is your parents' room, is it upstairs? Is that?
Yeah, okay. Everything that occurred after I went back in the house and locked the door occurred upstairs, and then everything before that occurred downstairs. And the way it's built, the upstairs, it's built into a hill, so you walk into the upstairs and then go down.
Okay.
in my parents' bedroom, if you go in, you go to the left. It's the only thing there. Like you walk into this little like hallway, and then it's not even a hallway. It like opens up into the living room. And then if you go left, it's my parents' bedroom, and if you go right and to the left, it was the room It was the room I shot her in. It was the room I took her to help her in.
How far away were you from her, Conor, when the gun went off?
A couple feet.
Couple feet?
Yeah.
Like from you to that chair?
Oh, no, like from me to like the corner there. Like
Okay.
if I, like even back a little more.
So that's more than a couple of feet, so...
Yeah. Maybe 5 or 6, I guess.
Tell me why, after you shot her, why didn't you go to her?
I didn't want to be around her. I didn't, cause like I could just tell she was gone, just the way she hit the floor. She didn't move. Like there was no twitching, no breathing, no nothing. I didn't. I know it's only like it's nothing like the movies, but like it was like Yuri, and it just kept playing in my head, and I didn't want to go back. I didn't want to see it anymore. Even now, like I can't get the image out of my head. Like I don't know. I was so scared. I can't even now. Like I'm talking about it, and I'm just waiting for you to be like, "Don't worry, she's okay."
When you fought before, Conor,
Yeah.
has it ever gotten to the point where y'all are physical with each other?
Yeah.
How does that usually happen?
Usually happened where I'd be like, look, I can't. I'd be so upset. I'd be like, look, I don't want to talk anymore. And just like hang up and turn my phone off. And she would come over to my apartment, and I didn't want to just like leave her outside, because like the one time I did that, she got mugged. Or like some guy like took her coat, and like she had her wallet and everything was in it, so like I didn't want anything bad to happen to her. So like I let her in, and we'd start talking, and she'd just say something that would make me so mad, and I'd be so defensive that I'd lash out, that I'd slap her, that I never hit her, I never closed my fist or anything. But still, like, that does enough damage. And then like, I'd feel horrible, I'd like crumple, and I'd just hold her and tell her how sorry I was, and how, like, I don't know, like, when I'm fine, when I'm, like, normal, when I'm not angry, I cannot fathom hurting her. But if, like, I get angry or upset, I'm this different person.
So you think you have some anger issues?
No, I mean, yeah, I know I do. I always have.
Really, even since you were little?
I mean, yeah, I guess since since in middle school. I've never dealt with my anger well. Like, even a lot of times, little things will like make me angry.
How many times would you say that's happened with her?
Twice. Just twice. Once was when I was staying with her after my parents kicked me out. That was July of '09. And things were just bad. It was like she was really nice and let me stay in her house and live with her. Well, her parents let me stay, but like it was nice and good. And then just like one night, things were just so horrible. I lashed out and I smacked her. And then the second time happened when we were in Orlando visiting her sister. We were sharing the same bed, and again, we were having a fight. She was upset because I wanted to go to sleep. Like, I was really tired. I'd driven down from Tallahassee to Orlando, and I was tired. But there was something she wanted to talk about, and I wasn't listening, and so she got mad at me and was like, "You never listen, you don't like love me, you don't care." And I rolled over and just like slapped her, and I like, same thing, like I guess 3 times, because the one time at my apartment too. I don't know, I try to forget that night. It just wasn't good for either one of us. I don't know, after I hit her, so I guess I smacked her 3 times. 3, like, just once, but like 3
separate times.
And the one time at my apartment, I just kind of, she fell asleep in my arms, and I just like laid her down in my bed, and I just beat my head into the wall until I fell asleep. And I don't know,
Is she your only girlfriend ever?
Technically no, but as far as how much of a relationship we had, yeah. I mean, the only other, I guess, of the other girlfriends I've had, one I dated for a week, and the other I dated for like a month. Neither were significant, neither were loving or caring relationships.
I'm assuming, I could be wrong. You told me it was your relationship with Anne. Was it sexual?
Yeah. I mean, not like strictly sexual, but yeah.
But you were sexually active with
Yeah.
each other. Were y'all sexually active with each other last night?
No.
So why? You said that you took her phone, Anne's phone, and typed out that text message to her dad?
Yeah, I was gonna send it and then kill myself.
Why wouldn't you send one to your dad?
He's out of town. My dad's in Panama City.
You said that your parents kicked you out in July. What was that all about?
We just had a lot of issues. My dad is kind of who I get my angry side from. He doesn't deal with things well. He gets angry too. He yells. We had several physical altercations before he kicked me out. In fact, the night he kicked me out, we got into a fight, and we were like kind of wrestling, and like he threw me to the ground, and he like pinned me down and put his thumb on my eye and started to push down and was like, I can fuck you up beyond belief. And I just started laughing. And so he was like, get out of my house, never come back. And so I did, and like my dad and I are on speaking terms now. Things have gotten better. Same with my mother. My mother and I had a lot of issues too. I guess my dad and I have the same kind of condition, psychological problem. We get angry. Oh, it's cyclical. We get angry and we get depressed. And we were angry at ourselves, then we get depressed, and then our anger causes us to act out again, and then we get depressed again, and it's just never.
Have you ever been seen a doctor about it?
Yeah, my parents made me see a counselor when I was still in high school when we were fighting a lot before I got kicked out. That was spring of '09.
What did the counselor say?
She was kind of, I don't know, I really don't remember. I didn't want to see the counselor. The reason my parents and I were having issues is because they have attachment problems. My sister is Down syndrome, and so they treat her like a child. And I mean, because she is psychologically, she's maybe 8. I think she's 16 now. Jesus, 16. But psychologically, she's maybe 8 or 9, and so they treat her like a child, and they treat me like a child, and I ended up trying to be independent. I was trying to do my own thing, and my parents didn't understand, so they reacted negatively to everything I did. And I mean, I did the typical high school stuff, tried to stay out late, that kind of stuff. I mean, no parties or anything, but just a lot of times I just stay out with Anne because we'd talk till like 4 a.m. And then things just got bad because my parents took away my car, and they were like, rather than trying to understand why I was doing what I was doing, they just restricted me, which only made me act out more and only made me angrier. So.
What about Anne's parents? How are they? They like you?
Yeah, her mom really likes me, and her dad, he actually got me the job that I'm at now. They took me in, they like me well enough. Her father and I have had some issues because he caught me sneaking into her house once. But they're very good people.
It sounds to me kind of like y'all were on an emotional roller coaster, up and down, up and down, up and down. It had been that night, and you were again the next morning, and for several hours.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
She pushed your button.
Yeah.
And you got mad.
Upset more than angry. I mean, I was angry that she wouldn't just show me the wound. Or if she even had one, she wouldn't show me if she'd cut herself. And so that was weird, because it was I didn't know if she'd actually cut herself, if she was just trying to, lie to me. I didn't want to kill her. I don't even know. I waved and pointed the gun, but I just wanted her to understand that she didn't want to die. She wanted to live, I just want to scare her. I didn't even think my finger was on the trigger.
Have you ever used that gun before?
No.
You know anything about it?
What do you mean? I know how to load it, I know the safety, that kind of stuff.
You know the safety?
I mean, my dad taught me about it. I thought the safety was on, like, cause I thought he put it back. I thought he would have put it back with the safety on. I didn't even check if the safety was on or not.
You didn't take the safety off?
No. I honestly, like, I just pulled it out to wait, like, well, I mean, yeah, I was gonna kill myself and I loaded it, but I didn't put the safety off that I know of. Yeah, I don't think I did.
She didn't want to break up?
I mean, yes and no.
Because some of the things you told me that she said sounded like...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, with our issues, she didn't see how we could work. But at the same regard, she loved me and I loved her. So
you, afterwards, you put the gun on your parents' bed?
yeah, I like walked around with it for a bit. I was thinking, I like put it on the bed and I was gonna go back and get another shell and kill myself with it. Just like sit down somewhere, put it under my chin and pull the trigger. Like, I don't know, I just couldn't do it.
The lock that your dad had on the gun?
Yeah.
What'd you do with that?
It's sitting on the bed still.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you know anything about her? Have you heard?
I haven't. I know she's at the hospital. The last thing I heard, which was, coming up there to TPD, was that she was still alive. I don't know if that's still the case or not. You didn't talk to anybody or text anybody or anything else?
No.
Do you have your cell phone with you?
It's in my car with hers.
Hers is in your car too?
Yeah.
Why is hers in your car?
I put it in my pocket when I was gonna text her father. And I just never, I don't know, it's sort of a habit, you know? And then my phone was already in my car at the time. So.
Are you wearing the same clothes, Conor?
Yeah.
What do you have in your pocket?
I have my wallet.
Okay.
And I have some trash in this pocket, which I forgot to mention to the first officer who frisked me, so he kind of freaked out when he found it. But
what is it?
just a couple receipt. I think it's from Moe's.
Are those the same clothes you were wearing when all this happened?
Yeah. And I haven't washed my hands or cleaned up, short of blowing my nose.
Okay. Alright. Well, sit tight, alright? Do you need anything? Water or anything?
No, no, I'm good, I think.
Alright. I'll be right back. Conor, I got a couple more questions.
Sure.
I'm trying to clear this up. When you went into the house after she rammed your car,
Yeah.
and you went in the house, is that when you went and got the gun and loaded it and everything?
Yes, ma'am.
So, what did you do with it when she was banging on the door? Tell me what you did there.
I put it down on when you come in the entrance hall, there's a entrance tape.
Okay. Like a little.
Yeah, and I just put it down there on that.
And you let her in?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, did she still have the blanket?
Yeah, she was leaning on. She was leaning on this leg, putting her weight on this leg, and then she had it wrapped around her upper thigh.
Did she still have it wrapped around her? Where was it when she was shot?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I want to say she was using. I think she was using it as a pillow because I told her that I went away. She was like giving me the gauze and the tissue paper and the adhesive medical tape, and I went away, and that's when she either patched herself up or pretended to. I'm not sure which.
You went away to do what?
I just sort of hung around outside the room. She was just like, get out. So I did.
And then from that point, did you go back in, or when you went back in, is that when you had the gun, or?
No. I went back in, and she was kind of breathing heavy. So I thought she was either just upset or maybe she did actually have a cut. I don't know. And so I went to the kitchen. Actually, I'm sorry, not the kitchen. My parents' bedroom, and it has a mini fridge, and I got a bottle of red Powerade, and I gave it to her with a straw. And she was drinking a little of it, and then that's when we were talking, and that's when the whole, like, I just want to die, and then after that conversation, that's when I went and got the gun.
Did she, when you had the gun and you were saying, tell me what you said exactly when you had the gun.
I was like, is this what you want? Is this, like, I'm sorry, I can't remember my exact
That's
words,
okay.
but it was like, is this what you want? Like, you don't want to die, so stop saying you want to die.
What was she doing?
She'd moved to when I came in with the gun, she moved to the floor, or like kind of rolled to the floor. And she was kind of on her knees, like, no, like she was crying, and she was really upset.
Did she have her hands up, or?
I don't remember. I just remember her, just saying, like, no, don't.
Was there anything going on with a piece of rebar outside?
After she hit my car, I forgot to mention this. After she hit my car, I grabbed it and I hit her car once with the door and once in the window. And because I was mad and I just wanted to leave, and I didn't hit her with it. None of that, but I did hit her car. I forgot to mention that. I apologize.
That's okay. Alright. Yeah, I was just kind of wondering about that.
Yeah, no, it just completely, completely escaped my mind.
Okay. I'm gonna step back out, and they're gonna come in, and they're gonna swab your hands.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get your clothes. We're gonna give you something to put on. But
Okay.
we're gonna need to get your clothes, and I need to get a swab of the inside of your mouth for
Okay.
DNA. Okay.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Is there any way I can find out anything about how she is? What's going on?
They just told me that she is at the hospital and she's in intensive care unit.
Okay. Were her parents?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Have my parents been notified at all, or?
Not that I know of. Do you want me to call them?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Thank you, though.
This won't hurt. This is just rubbing the inside of your cheek with a Q-tip.
Cool. Out of curiosity, why?
DNA.
Okay.
Lean forward for me. I gotta do one side and the other. What are you going to school for?
Right now, just a general transfer, and then I'm gonna go to UC. Well, I was gonna go to UCF and get an environmental engineering degree.
What about him?
What?
Where does she go?
She was gonna go to UCF and get a degree in psychology.
Come on in.
Sorry, the machine took my money. I had to go.
Thank you, sir.
You thirsty?
Yeah. Well, more just. I don't know. I haven't eaten anything since lunch yesterday, so. Just get some kind of sugar in me.
Conor, what are your parents' names? And they're in Panama City with your little sister
And grandmother.
and grandmother? What's a phone number for them? Because we do have to go in and out of their house, and we don't. Is that for your dad or your?
Father's phone. Or cell phone.
What about your mom? You gotta come in and change your clothes out and swab your hands.
And then I just sit here.
Yeah.
Is there any other place I can sit? I don't know. Just
Is this making you?
just white walls and I don't know. I know this sounds weird, but
That's all we have anywhere else in this place.
okay, that's fine then. I understand.
You wanna? I'm trying to think of where you maybe. It's gonna roll pretty quick unless they come in here.
Okay.
It'll roll pretty quick.
Then I guess what happens? What?
Well, I'm gonna have to type up a PC, and then I'll walk you over to the jail, and then they're gonna book you in.
Okay.
Which that'll mean they're gonna take your fingerprints and take your photo and ask you a bunch of questions and stuff.
Okay.
Oh, you mentioned earlier that you still wanting to kill yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still want to kill yourself?
I don't know. I mean, she's alive, and that. I don't know if that makes it worse or better. I don't want to kill myself. I mean, I'd pretty much decided that when I turned myself in. So yeah, you don't.
Well, when you say she's alive, I don't know if that makes it worse or better. Why would it make it worse?
I don't know. It would just suck if she lived but lives in like a, I want to be like altered state, but like a vegetative state or like had permanent brain damage or something. It's just that, I don't know, that'd be worse.
If she lives, Conor, is she going to tell me anything different than what you've told me?
No, ma'am. I've been honest and straightforward.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
My sergeant locked me in.
Very nice.
Conor was convicted of second-degree murder and was given 20 years followed by probation. While Anne was in the hospital, battling on life support, her father stated he felt the power of Christ using Anne's voice to tell him to forgive Conor. Eventually, with time, both parents started to forgive him and talk about what that forgiveness means to them and why they did it. Conor will be 34 years old this year and has served 13 years of his sentence. He is expected to be released from prison on March 22, 2030, when he will be 39. In a prison interview, he said, "I am in a much better place. I've worked through a lot of my issues, and realizing where I was mentally and emotionally, I'm just not that person anymore." Now, what are your thoughts on this case? Do you believe in the effects of restorative justice? Do you believe this is justice for Anne? Was the sentence fair in light of the killer's age and the circumstances of the murder? We look forward to see your comments about this case.